Second time's the charm. This is the second time I recorded this intro because I accidentally said a couple of days instead of a couple of months. Bro, I fell off. My mental state deteriorated. There's a lot behind it. But I'm good now. I'm gonna start posting content like a lot more. I know I posted a grounded videos not too long ago. So I figured now that I got the grounded videos up, it's about time I go for my what ifs again. I'm sorry it took so long for this part. It's probably gonna get a lot less views than the first two. But yeah, here's this part, and I'm probably gonna start. What if Luffy? No, what if Luffy? What if Naruto was what if Naruto had Whitebeard's powers? Seventh time's the charm. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so where we left off, I believe we were talking about going to Nami's home island. We discussed the fact that they went to get Sanji first, but we're not gonna go get Sanji first this time. We're gonna do the island part, and then we're gonna go get Sanji. I believe that's what I said in my last two videos. I just skimmed through them, so if there's any inconsistencies, drop it in the comments. It's all good. I'll try to fix it up in the next few parts because I'm planning on recording 2 or 3 parts just in case like I get lazy again. But anyways, so they start traveling to Nami's home island, which I do forget the name of. Let's see. What is the name of Nami's home island? Let's see. Konomi Islands. Okay. So we're pulling up to the Konomi Islands, and we're starting to see just how bad it is. The fishmen have taken over the island so much and have been essentially torturing the residents to the point where nobody's happy anymore whatsoever. All right, and Nami, when she gets back, she's like, "It's worse than it was before. Was I gone that long?" And she starts getting really depressed and stuff. And Luffy pulls up and is just like, "Hey, yo, Nami, don't worry about it. We got you. We're gonna take care of these kids, and we'll get back on our adventure after we're done with these twats." So Luffy is Zoro. Did we already go get Usopp? I have no idea. So we're gonna go with Sadian. So Luffy, Zoro, and Sadian. So Sadian whistles for a giant bird to come. I think that's. I'm not sure what I did, but yeah, a giant bird's coming because Sadian whistled it, and Zoro is only gonna use one sword because Luffy was like, "You see, I condone your three sword style, but get good with one, then two, then three. Master one at a time. Choose one, master it. So master with your right and left. If you want to do both hands at the same time, that's cool, but get used to those before going for your mouth, or you're just gonna stay at the same skill level." I don't think that's actually how Mihawk trained him, but like that's what we're gonna go for. Mihawk's still gonna train Zoro in this because there's still gonna be a time skip. Because I plan on having Luffy let himself lose to Kuma. Anyways, that's a big spoiler. Anyway, so they pull up. Sadian's on the bird, flying above, doing reconnaissance. Zoro and Luffy are just slowly walking up, and like the fishmen are running up to them, and Luffy has his sword put away. He's not even taking it out. It's just punching them out, socking them. One hit, one hit, one hit, one hit. Absolutely clapping them. Like they got no shot, alright? Wow, this has already been going on 5 minutes. God damn. Anyways, yeah, so they had no shot. And then Luffy sees Arlong. And Luffy decides to toy with this motherfucker, okay? So he lets Arlong start beating him, but not quite. So like he's like slowly moving like Arlong's hand slightly over, so the entire impact is just gone. But Luffy like creates a fake impact using his own body because he's nuts like that. So yeah, I'm not sure if I gave Luffy a devil fruit. I'm gonna have to go back to the first part actually for that. Anyways, so that's my plan there. Uh So he's baiting Arlong like that, and at some point he just like, "You're trash, kid." Bro, I gotta stop trolling like that. But no, he's like, "You're trash, bro," and then he kicks Arlong straight up to the top of like the giant building that Luffy hits Arlong through the first time, and then Luffy takes out his sword, points it up in the air, and yells, "Volark lightning!" And a lightning strike hits um Arlong and shoves him straight through that building like Luffy did when he hit him with the Gum Gum Gatling, I think. So then Arlong is just completely out. Luffy decided to hold back a bit so he wasn't dead, because Luffy has some questions for Arlong. And Luffy's also taking Octopus Bro with him to find out more things about him. Anyways, so after Luffy's clapped Arlong and Octopops Bro, not Octopops, but like trash octopus guy, Luffy brings them back to the ship, having Sadie pick them up with the bird's talons, and they kick everybody, like all the like fishmen and stuff and all the pirates off that island, and they drop their flag. They're like, "This island is now under my control. You will no longer do anything, or I will come back and end you." And there was just something about Luffy's eyes that made the pirates and like the fishmen just say, absolutely. The fear that was struck into their eyes when he said that was unbelievable. So, anyways, they bring Arlong and what's that? I want to start referring to him as his name, Octopus Guy from One Piece. Hatchan or Hachan, whatever. Don't give a fuck. Anyway, Hachan and Arlong are brought to the ship, and Luffy tells everybody to just sit on the deck, and he's going to slowly he tortures them. He doesn't like do it with cuts or anything. He just shocks them until they give them answers. So he doesn't actually torture them that much because these some weak ass kids for real though. So, anyways, Luffy like gets the answers about everything, finds out about the crew that what's his name, Tiger or something, the big red fish man that used to be like Jinbei's captain, and he finds out about that entire crew, blah blah blah, and Luffy finds it highly intriguing. So Luffy just makes sure to keep that in the back of his mind in case he ever meets Jinbei the Warlord. And so, anyways, he ends up deciding to set sail again after a feast was thrown for him and his pals by the people of Konomi Islands. Nami decides to agree to go with Luffy and navigate whenever he wants to relax or he's not on board. So, anyways, also I don't know if I'm gonna make this go up to like where we are at in the manga and slowly update it. We'll find out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Anyway, so yeah, they set sail again after, and they find themselves in the. I think it's the North Blue that they find Sanji. I believe. I was on a ship in the North Blue, a protege to the Zeph. What a cool dude. The way I remember it is because of Eddie Rath's verse in the Straw Hats cipher that Rustage created. All I think is on a ship in the North Blue, a protege to the Zeph. What a cool dude. Cut off his leg trying to save and preserve food. Suddenly you got a friend to preserve you. Bro, that shit was cracked. I'm not even gonna lie. Eddie Rath got some flows. Anyways. So yeah. Also I realized that what's his name? Izukage or no, Rogue X, I think. I released What If Naruto had Whitebeard's powers. I personally don't care because I had posted a part of that before him on my old account, And if you guys need proof, I will post a short of me proving it sometime in the future. But yeah, I posted it long before him. I posted that like when. Let me go find out. Because it's still on the channel. It's just privated. Let me go look. I'm just I just don't want it to be like called out on that series. Like, oh, you're copying. Because for one, I'm just not fucking copying. What if Naruto had Whitebeard's powers? August 21st, 2022 is when I posted that. I posted one part of it that was 56 minutes long. It has 17 views. Anyways. But yeah, I posted it before him, so I'm not gonna take shit from nobody on that if somebody decides to call me out on it. Anyways, so my plan now is to get back to the what if, because holy shit, I keep getting like distracted from it. So, yeah, so they start heading in the North Blue to the North Blue. I think it's the North Blue. I just want to double check. Sanji was found where? I know the All Blues. What? Is Sanji the original Naruto? What the fuck? Uh, uh anyways, yeah, it's the North Blue, I think. Anyways, so they travel towards the North Blue because Luffy says so. I'm so sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to make sure I get the information correct for the most part. So, yeah, they travel to the North Blue. They find this restaurant ship and they're very intrigued by it. They're like, hey, yo, we can get some tasty ass food? Fuck yeah. Let's go. So they hop on the ship. They pay for some food and they get their food. Then this like weird guy comes tumbling in and he collapses. And Sanji decides to give him food. Anyways, this guy he ends up just chilling when what's that one loser ass twat that was there? Uh who was it? Who did Luffy fight for Sanji? No, no. I'm so clueless. It's been so long. Okay, so Luffy. Okay, so the Krieg pirates end up pulling up on that boat. I am so sorry. It's been a hot minute since I did all the research for this. I'm just going off the top of my head. This is a pure improvisational one. So, oh, didn't mean to press that. Anyways, so the Krieg pirates pull up and they start scaring everybody on the boat except the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats are just chilling. They don't give a fuck. They're like, "Hey, yo, we got Luffy. Why the fuck would we give a shit?" And valid decision. But Luffy decides to say to them, he's like, "I will not interfere unless I must. I sense an extremely powerful foe, and I will go fight him, but the rest of you are going to handle the Krieg pirate, including Krieg." And they're just like, "What the fuck? We're not strong enough to handle Krieg yet. What? Why are you doing this?" And Luffy's like, "You'll understand one day." So Luffy ends up leaving through the door, and he goes to Mihawk because he sensed Mihawk's presence. And Luffy is like, "Ah, you're Mihawk. I can tell from your sword, Yoru. You don't understand Yoru's true power, do you?" And Mihawk is like, "What do you mean?" Luffy is like, "I'll tell you one day. However, I'm gonna need you to beat the shit out of my crewmate." And Mihawk is like, "What?" Luffy is like, "Look, I know I'm not as strong as you as a swordsman, and I don't want to be honest. But my crewmate wants to become the strongest swordsman, which means he's gonna have a extremely rude awakening, and I want you to be the one to give it to him." And Mihawk can sense the power coming from Luffy. Like Mihawk's not even sure he could actually just beat Luffy that easily. Mihawk thinks there's a possibility that he will lose. If it was pure swords, maybe not. But Luffy's abilities are just insane. Anyways, so Luffy ends up deciding to go back to the ship. And Luffy's like, "Alright, change your plans. I'll fight John Krieg. That blondie locks over there. What was your name? Sanji? Yeah. You're gonna fight that weird bro with that, like, weird baton with... What are those? Giant balls on the end? Like, what the fuck?" Anyways, you're gonna fight him. Blondie locks or Sanji is just like, "What the fuck? Who do you think you are giving me orders?" And Luffy just looks at him with, like, a death stare. And Sanji's like, "Okay, never mind." And Luffy's like, "It's your ship. You will protect it." And I was just like, damn. That's deep. I'm sorry. It's early in the morning and I'm kind of tired and I'm just out of it. Anyways. So Sanji agrees. And then Luffy actually just kind of yeets Zoro over to Mihawk. And Mihawk's like, "I heard you want to be the world's strongest swordsman." And Zoro is like, "Yes, so? What's it to you?" And then Mihawk's like, "Well, I'll be the one foe that you truly have to face. I am that swordsman." And Zoro's like, "No shot, you weak ass." And then Mihawk pulls out his butter knife. Okay. And Zoro pulls out all three swords. And he goes after Mihawk. And so Mihawk's just absolutely blocking everything. And Mihawk's in his mind like, "Understand what you meant now, Luffy. He is truly a formidable one. He isn't very strong yet, but I can sense the power that he will gain." And so Mihawk decides to fulfill Luffy's wishes, and he gives Zoro the beating of a lifetime, the exact same thing that happened in the show or the manga, whatever. And so, anyways, Luffy, in return for this, decides to tell Mihawk Yoru's secret. So, after Luffy takes care of John Krieg, which is a total of him just going, "Follow Arc Lightning," zapping John Krieg. John Krieg's just out. No shot. Luffy goes down to Zoro, and it's just like, "I'm sorry, but you needed that." And Zoro just doesn't understand, not yet. And Luffy says, "Do you want to know the secret to your sword, Mihawk?" And Zoro just realized, wait, that's really Mihawk? The world's strongest swordsman? And Luffy is like, "Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure I could beat him in a fight. Though I know it would be close." Mihawk's like, "Yes, what did you mean, you know secret of my sword?" And Luffy's like, "Did you see that lightning that happened up there? That's not a devil fruit. That's my sword. And my sword didn't eat no devil fruit or whatever either. What happened is there's certain weapons from a time 2,000 years ago that are possessed by these jinns. Okay? And these jinns give different powers. Like mine has ball in it. The jinn of lightning. Um there's bound to be a dagger somewhere in the world. I'm not quite sure where. That has the jinn of fire. Oh my, the times back then. And Mihawk's confused. He's like, "What do you mean the times back then? Like you were around back then? You look no more than 17." And Luffy is like, "You'll know one day. Ask your jinn if you ever manage to get it to release its power and speak to you." And Mihawk's like, "Okay." And so Luffy is just like, "Zoro, that is your rival, okay? That's who you will have to surpass. Do you think you have the willpower to put in the work for that endeavor?" And Zoro is like, "Yeah, I think I can do it." Um, and Luffy's like, "Good, I'll hold you to that." And so Mihawk's still trying to understand what Luffy said. Jins? What? And as Luffy's walking away, he decides to show Mihawk what he's talking about without anyone else noticing. He takes out his sword, he points it back, and he yells, "Ball, release." And Ball, the Jin, comes out of the sword, but he makes his presence masked to everyone except Mihawk. And Ball sits there at, like, what, 25 feet tall, looking down at Mihawk. And it's just like, "I am the Jin of Lightning, my master, Sindbad. You have one of my brethren in that sword. I wish for you to unlock its powers and become much, much stronger. My master wishes such, too. He wishes for Zoro to become stronger than you. And in that, Zoro needs someone far more powerful than you." And Mihawk's very confused, and he's like, "Oh, this is interesting. I never knew this was a thing." And Mihawk ends up sailing away on his microscopic boat back to his island, the one with the castle and the monkeys. And so what's it called? Mihawk's on his way back just contemplating, and he's like, "My sword Yoru has a jin? Something that big inside of it? Sealed? I don't understand. What's its powers? What's happening?" Also, for the Jin powers, I'm not sure what Jins have what powers, so I'm gonna search up all the Jins after. But I'm thinking of giving it like the power of like super speed, something like that. Like basically all the powers the Flash has, but maybe not moving quite as fast as the Flash. Probably slower than the Flash, maybe just as fast. I'm not sure. I'll have to decide because Kizaru moves at the speed of light too. Anyways, so Mihawk moves. It will have the ability to like move as fast as the Flash, as well as he'll be able to predict movements by analyzing everything about the enemy in 0.01 seconds. They will have to move faster than Mihawk to outspeed him. The only person that can move at such a speed will be Kizaru at the time being. So, anyways, I'm gonna make sure to go back through the last two videos. I don't know why I'm saying this here. Anyways, so Luffy goes back to the ship with Zoro, and he gets Nami to put bandages all over Zoro, and Luffy is like, "That is a lesson you had to learn. I respect you, Zoro, but you need to know just what you are up against. Mihawk is a far stronger swordsman than I. However, I know how to use my abilities much better. That's the only reason why I might be able to beat him. And Zoro's like, you think you could beat that? No shot. And Luffy's like, we're not going to test it either. I got shit to do. I don't feel like taking any injuries today. Nah, but Zoro, that's your rival, and I want you to consider him as such, as he considers you a formidable one. Zoro's like, no, he doesn't. He used a fucking butter knife against me. And Luffy is like, I know. He did that on purpose. Didn't you hear him say that he has respect for you? And Zoro's like, I guess. And then Luffy's like, you have to get stronger, and that's gonna take time. You haven't had anyone train you like he has. And the only person that has been known to be able to go toe to toe with Mihawk has been red haired Shanks. Actually, he's my idol. I met him one time. You know the Straw Hat? It was originally Rogers, Gold D. Rogers. Then it was passed down to red haired Shanks from Roger. And then Shanks passed it down to me. And Zoro's like, what? Unbelievable. No way. And Luffy is just like, indeed, that's how it is. Anyways, so then Luffy's like, we'll talk about this later. And they all get back to their ship, and Luffy looks at Sanji and is just like, hey yo, Sanji your name was? You have some potential, and I'd like to see you realize that potential. I'd like you to join my crew. I feel like you could be one of the strongest there is if you put the work in and the time in. And Sanji's like, what? But then Sanji rejects the notion. He's just like, I have to stay here. My calling is cooking. And then they all start shit talking Sanji. And when Sanji finally leaves to go to the boat after shit talking him, after they shit talked him, he overhears them telling Luffy that his cooking is amazing. They just don't want to be the ones to hold him back. And it cuts to Sanji crying outside, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Sanji says goodbye to them all. And they begin to travel again. So, I think that'll be the end of this part. It's 30 minutes long, just for us to get through Arlong's part and to get Sanji. Anyways, I'm sorry if it was a bit incoherent. I'm a bit all over the place, but I hope it was still entertaining to you guys. I promise the next part will be much, much, much better if you can make it through this one. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.